are we going to run with only two wide receivers who barely see any time as it is? Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz can't see the field enough. And many people were mentioning today, how do you not double team, triple team Zach Ertz all game long, guys? I mean, there were points in this game where Zach Ertz didn't have guys 10 yards around him. I mean, he was just streaking up the field wide open.
The touchdown to win the game. There was
the
no
touchdown
one
to
there.
win the game. No one around him. They were playing some sort of zone where they said, don't cover 86. And there he was, wide open in the end zone. So
we're going to play cover -1, guys.
But yeah, just classic Doug Peterson. A few fourth down plays where the Eagles really needed to convert. That one especially where at the very end of the game, I think there was about 5 minutes left, and luckily Wentz was able to sneak it up the middle there.
The 4th and 1 on your own 29.
Yeah, the 4th and 1 on our own 29 is just all these risky gambles that come through, and that's what it takes to win a game sometimes. Unfortunately, you hate to see it against a 2-win team like the Giants with a Cole Eli Manning coming in the game.
Well, we saw Riverboat Ron get fired. Now we got Dice 'em Up Doug.
Dice 'em Up Doug, man. Just when you...
give me a 7, give me a 7, give me a 7.
Look, the big thing amongst Philadelphia fans right now is, who is calling the plays on offense, because there seems to be no rhythm. Is Jim Schwartz fit to be the coordinator next season, because the secondary just gives up yards like candy? I mean, Ronald Darby, if you remember, is a fast cornerback. I mean, he ran a spectacular 40-yard dash
at Buffalo. I don't get
combine.
it.
So I don't know if he just is too confident in his recovery speed or what it is, but he gets burned on the reg. Jalen Mills has never been known as a speed guy, but same with him. He gives up those long plays as well. Made Darius Slayton look like Victor Cruz out there. So
I want to give another shout out to Boston Scott. 128 all-purpose yards and a touchdown in one half. He barely played in the first half. It was all Miles Sanders. He literally, even Carson Wentz tried running the ball in the freaking first half to get something going, and it's still holding called back. But Boston Scott is the type of back Peterson needed.
Do you think there's something to the fact that he's, basically a practice squad guy? Do you think that it shows when you have fresh legs like that and you're playing with these guys who have been banged up all season long? Or do you think that Boston Scott is just that talented of a player who finally got a chance?
He finally got a chance and he showed it. You don't just rack up 128 yards for no reason and a tutty. No, I really think he is. It's not just he did it on the rushing side, Dillon. He did it in everything. He picked up a couple blocks last night, and he's built like a Darren Sproles.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it just gave me that feeling like, okay, Dougie's got his guy. Like he's got his other running back now, because Howard's obviously hurt still. I mean, Sanders is dinged up every now and then, but Boston Scott looked good.
And they barely used Ajayi. The glaring play for him,
he
obviously,
dropped
was
3 passes on receiving routes too.
Yeah, he goes out to the flat. Wentz throws it up to him. He jumps up. Ball bounces right off his hands like he's got stone. And yeah,
the kid from Little Giants all over again.
That was obviously not good for the J train. And hopefully better days are ahead, because if Sanders gets nicked up like he has been, we're going to need him. And, it's not just going to be the Boston Scott show. He's not built for that. So if Howard can't come back.
My question is why the hell are you excited that they were losing for the majority of this game to the freaking Giants?
Oh, trust me, I'm not excited about that. But I think when you're talking about a team that can win a big game.
Let's be real. We'll get to it later in power rankings. But they are decimated now. Like there's winning, and then there's coming out of the win like with your limbs chopped off. Like, yeah, you're not better from that win. Like going forward, if you have to get into another battle.
Than we thought he was.
I didn't say. Dave, Dillon.
I'm just saying
Dillon,
it proved how much better he was.
Dillon. as the Eagles fan here, even though I know you disagreed with what I said, did I ever at any point say that he was a scrub?
No. But
you said he was a scrub.
I did pick on that he was having problems that needed to be fixed, just like any good quarterback. But have I not said that from his tape from before, and Aaron Rodgers does this shit too. But have I not said that looking at his tape, that's why I was picking on him so bad, because why was his mechanics so shitty when I knew what was on before? Have I not said that, Dillon?
Yeah, it's a big win for Philly. We can move on from this game, but it certainly is not good.
I was arguing with Dave, trying to say he's better than we thought he was, and I'm saying no. My point wasn't that he was a scrub. My point was that I was disparaging the fact that he was not. He was so mechanically sloppy that it was ridiculous, and he was better, and I needed to see that. I knew he was better. He just needed to do it, and he wasn't doing it. That was my problem. I was picking on him, Dave.
I know,
but I
never
was just
said
you said that he was a scrub.
Drag us through.
But you're saying
we're gonna steam ahead. We're full steam ahead on this, guys.
You're putting words in my mouth, and I wasn't even here for this time. You're always putting words in my mouth.
But yeah, big game for Philly. Got Washington next. Obviously, the Cowboys have the Rams at home, so right in the race still. Going to be hosting. One of these teams, Dallas or Philly, is going to be hosting.
No, not Dallas.
A team with a better record come playoff time.
And they'll go 1-0.
Is Dallas or Philadelphia winning that matchup? Because the winner of that game wins the NFC East. At this point, look, honestly, Dillon, it's not like the Dallas Cowboys have been world beaters. So it's not like this is like, it's not being a homer if you look at and think that your team is actually better. Because let's be real, even though you were behind, it's a divisional game, even though it's their
Philly's
record.
winning that game.
I'm saying at least they won, whereas Dallas has lost, 3 straight now?
Yeah. No, that's the thing. I mean, Dallas is certainly a more healthy, more talented team right now. I mean,
and
they definitely...
The Bears.
But the thing is, who has... you can't say enough about momentum. And Philly definitely has the momentum right now as far as the head coach is secure. The team just won a big game. There's confidence in the quarterback. There's confidence that people know what they're doing in the building. Yes, it was close, but they pulled off the win. Whereas in Dallas, I mean, you've got a team that's still contending to be first in the division, and yet we're talking about firing the head coach, and the quarterback's unsigned, the receiver's unsigned. And it's just it's a total mess in Dallas. So I think you can say a lot about momentum, and there's a lot to be said for the fact that it's in Philadelphia as well. It's not in Dallas. So we'll see, who's available for that game. Is Derek Barnett back? Is Nelson Aguilar back? And, do they sign a receiver like Jordan Matthews? He's the girlfriend that just won't go away. But, yeah, I can't wait for that matchup.
Philly wins it because Dallas had all the weapons against teams like Chicago and the Patriots and dropped the ball. They had all the weapons, and they dropped the ball. Philly had Jack Diddley at wide receiver last night. Yeah, they were playing the Giants, but still, they were down their entire wide receiver core.
I was just playing devil's advocate. Division games, it doesn't matter what the records are.
No.
I'm not saying what the record is, Jay. I was talking about the injury health. Their injury health is what I'm getting at. Dallas has a full roster. Healthy. No problem.
That game is going to be all about how
Dallas I am so sick of hearing about Dallas and their potential and their talent. Well, show me. Because you know what? Because Dallas is 6-7 with all that, I'm doing air quotes, people, potential and talent, and the Patriots look like jack crap, don't have jack squat, can't block nobody, and they're 10-3. You explain that to me.
Yeah,
I'm not saying the Patriots are more talented. I'm just saying I am sick and damn tired of hearing about, well, the Cowboys are so talented and they're potentially the best team and they're so talented. and 3 losses in a row. The Ravens don't have all that talent and all that. Hell, Mark Ingram was a cast-off from the Saints because they said, we got Kamara. We don't need you. You're not good enough.
It wasn't a cast-off. He was a high-priced free agent.
They could have signed him, and it would have been cheaper to sign him when they still had him on their roster in season than once he hit the open market. Once he hits open market, and you're all pricing him. They had an opportunity to sign him. They have money. They didn't need to sign very many. Their team is pretty veteran, bud. And if they're not veterans,
cast-off was a different meeting.
Oh wow!
I know I can't.
What am I saying?
I know I can't wait
Lamar
to hear that
Jackson
radio
was
show.
supposedly a wide receiver or running back. I mean,
I can't wait to hear that radio show with Jerry after the Rams game. If they lose that, man, will he even do it?
All I know is with your help on top of that. So that's why I'm going to back Dallas to win against the Rams. You want to know why? Because if the Rams lose and the Packers win, they clinch a playoff spot.
Come on, the Rams are hot, and the Cowboys are not.
And the Rams are horrible away from the LA Coliseum. They're horrible.
But everybody plays well in Jerry World.
Why don't you just have enough? Why don't you just have enough faith in your Packers to win the division and not have to vicariously root for the Rams and all this BS and the Cowboys
against the Rams?
You know what?
Yeah,
the
Packers got the North.
Dillon, check this out. I hate the Cowboys so much, and I still believe that I honestly believe it might not be pretty, but I honestly believe that the Packers are going to win out, go 13-3, and at the very least have the 2 seed. But I still believe that those other teams are going to finish 12-4, and they could end up with the number 1 seed. And they don't. And so I hate the Cowboys, and so I would love to see the Rams go in there and make the Cowboys be a miserable 4 straight with all that talent and potential.
Well, what's the remaining schedule? Is all division games? Yes.
Yeah.
The Packers.
Yeah.
Packers. It's this week. It's the
Chicago,
Bears. Then
Minnesota,
we got Monday
Detroit.
night at Minnesota. Then we finish the season up at Detroit.
Well,
and Detroit just put Marvin
Kirk
Jones
Cousins
up on
has
IR.
a 9-win. Kirk Cousins has 9 wins against sub 500 teams. He has not beaten a 500 or better team this season. He is 0-8 on Monday night. Combine those 2 things together, I don't give a shit what's going to happen. And by the way, FYI, even though I've agreed that he's played really well, you still go turn on the 4-minute tape at the end of the 2-minute and 3, and he's still getting interceptions dropped, fumbles recovered. Luckily, that he's mistakes, not bad throws that aren't converting 3rd downs, and they punt, and the defense suddenly steps up, even though they play like crap most of the time. Like, Kurt is still having trouble in those crunch time situations, but fortunately, he's played more sub 500 teams than ones above, and so he has 9 wins.
I don't think we took the proper time, and I'm sorry, Dave. It took me this long into the show, but shout out for you and your birthday, and I hope you had a great time. Did you come out of there with a massive hangover?
No, I didn't. I didn't have 1 drop of alcohol on my birthday and do it with my kids, my wife, and I watched a little bit of Monday Night Football. My fruition to Dillon did come true, though. Didn't mean the Giants won, but Jay, I called Dillon last night and I said, man, watch Eli throw a bomb to Darius Slayton for 40 yards.
Calls me on his birthday, so I can't even cuss at him.
Dillon, we're playing the Celebrate music right now for Dave.
Yeah, well, now that he reminds me of that, I don't know if I want to celebrate his birthday. I'll dance, don't get me wrong. But it was very...
Dillon, you don't need to dance.
It was very unkind of him to call me on his birthday.
And he's dancing, and I like it.
And wish me not well.
I didn't say they would lose. I said the touchdown would happen.
Nope, we're celebrating your birthday on air, and you can blush all you want, because I can see even though your camera's sucky.
There's no fucking blush.
You're blushing.
I'm going to call you next year on your birthday, Dave, and bench you, give you the Dalton treatment.
Bet you won't.
Oh, yeah, I like this music right now.
Next year,
I
you'll
feel
be 40.
like it's irritating Dave for some reason, And the fact that we're both dancing, he's got this disgusted look on his face. It's making me happy right